And we're back again, everybody. So today we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to switch things around. I think the routine will be a little bit better. I want to add a sitting meditation at the end of our workout. Okay, for those of you who are new to what we've been doing, where is my chart? Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, so for those of you who haven't done this, make a chart with these 5 exercises on it, date along the side, and we're going to chart our progress as we move along in the month. For the whole month, we're going to do these challenges. Now, my goal is that as you do them every other day, you will see some improvement through the month, okay? Because your muscles are going to get stronger. You're going to get used to this a little bit. You're going to challenge yourself if you're working out to the level that we've talked about. Some days, however, you might not. Some days might not be the improvement might not be there, or you might even fall back a little bit, and that's okay. My suspicion is throughout the month, you're going to see some growth. Okay, so that's why I'd like you to chart this. Okay, additionally, I know you do know this, for you to really get the maximum benefit out of this, you're going to use the rating of perceived exertion. And as you know that it's easier to go ahead and chart this on a scale of 1 to 10. I know that there's scales 1 to 20. 1 to 10 is a lot easier because we're used to people asking you on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard did you blah, blah, blah. So the board scale is going to ask you, how hard are you working out? And the rating that I'd like you to achieve is around 6 or 7, right about somewhat hard or hard. Okay, you don't want to go too far over that. It's just not beneficial to your muscles in the long run, nor do you want to go way underneath that because you're really not allowing your muscles to grow. Okay, but there's a couple other things that are really critical if you really want to see this thing happen. One is working out hard enough, okay, because you're going to really, what you're doing is you're asking the muscles to do more, just like your teachers ask you to do more homework, or to whatever it is. If you're practicing an instrument, to go ahead and practice it so you can improve. So you need to work out at that level. Your muscles, since they are, the technical term is there's little micro tears that happen as we basically stretch our muscles a little bit further in these physical exercises. They kind of like tear just very minutely, and they need to repair. So you need to have a really good night's rest. You need to give them good nutrition, so don't eat so much junk food, eat some really healthy food. And lastly, drink a lot of water. And like I did say, get a lot of rest. Okay? So let's get started. So let's go with push-ups. So push-ups is the most you can do, and you're going to do them until you feel that kind of somewhat hard level. Okay, if you can't do a completely perfect plank push-up, get on your knees, okay, and do your push-up like that. I wear a hat, and it kind of tells me exactly how far down I need to go. If you don't have that, you can put like, some people put out like a fist here, but certainly if you have somebody to help you, they can put a fist, and every time your chest hits, that's basically the amount of elevation or decline that you need. Okay, but anywhere near that will be fine. Okay, so you're on your own. Let's see how many you can do. Remember, work to about somewhat hard. Okay, and once you stop, you're done, basically. I'm cooked. All right, so however many you did, write down, make sure you put the date. How many push-ups you did. Let me just tell you a little real quick story. Mr. HG and I did this, I think it was about 1.5 years ago. He would come in the morning and he would say, oh, I did blah, blah, blah. And I'd say, well, that's pretty good. I did this many. The next day, or 2 days later, we'd ask each other, and very soon you could see that our growth and development of how many push-ups just happened. Even if I didn't have Mr. HG to push me, I would have been able to push myself because I knew what my goal was. But because I had him as somebody who was giving me a little competition, it was a little bit easier for me to motivate myself. So it was just something that he and I did. And you can do it by yourself. The chart is going to go ahead and help you to see how many you've done. All right, so let's go. And we're going to do, instead of doing sit-ups, we're just going to do a V-sit. And we're going to see if we can hold it for a whole minute. If you can't do a whole minute, then you're going to write down, I did it in 35 seconds or 40 seconds. Let's wait until it gets to 7:00. If you don't know how to do V-sit, just watch me. 3, 2, 1. Elevate your feet up. You can use your hands for balance. Let's see if you can hold it there for a minute. Now on your chart, under whatever date you get this video, make sure you don't put sit-ups there. Just put a little, in parentheses, V-sit, and you'll know how you did. Okay, so it's coming on 30 seconds. I could feel my stomach starting to shake. Now, if it starts to get too hard or painful, you're going to stop. But if it's just a little discomforting, then keep going. That's where the real growth, the growth mindset comes in. The growth comes in when it's kind of somewhat hard. Okay, you got 5 more seconds. You can do it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. All right. Next, let's go to burpees. Okay, let's start at, we'll just take a little bit of rest. We'll start at 8:30. Establish your pace and see if you can keep that up. See what you did last time as a kind of a little motivator. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Each time I come up, I hit my thighs. It's easier to remember my count. And stop. Woo! Okay, right down. Oh, for me, I seem to be stuck at that 23 level. Okay. So let's get into a sumo sit. We can start it right now, or a wall sit. I'm going to use a wall sit right now, but you can do a sumo sit. And I wore these pants specifically to show you the 90 degrees. Okay, It's tough going right into it without a whole lot of rest. Twenty more seconds. 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, up. Oh, then okay, write down if you did it for a minute. Okay, I'm getting ready for the last one, is we're going to do our mountain climbers. See what you did last time. Okay, you're going to establish a good pace. Let's start this at 11:45. Okay, now each time your right leg comes up to your elbow, you're going to count it as 1. Ready? Plank and go. 1. And stop. Woo! Okay. Write down how many you did. Okay, so I should tell you, and I think I already did, some days you'll do better, some days you won't, and that's okay. We're just going to slow down a little bit. We're going to give it a second before we go ahead and sit and do a little bit of meditating. So let's just get up in the mountain pose. Reach up. Breathe out. Reach up. And out. In all these, if you feel like you are taxed a little bit more, and just slow down. Okay? All right, let's go ahead, and I want to do just a couple sessions of the sun salutation that we've learned, so you get to that routine. Reach up in the mountain pose, down, touch your toes, come up to your knees, down to your toes, plank position, lower to the floor, up to the cobra, down to the floor, up to downward facing dog, step up to touch your toes, touch your knees, touch your toes, and up to mountain. You can do this as slow or as fast as you like. Let's do one more. Mountain, reach up, dive down, swan dive down till you touch your toes. Come up to your knees, touch your toes. I can feel my heart rate coming down. Go to plank, lower down to the mat, come up to cobra, back down to the mat, downward facing dog, step up to your hands, touch your toes, to your knees, to your toes, and up. So, deep breath. So I can really feel my heart rate slow down in those 2 minutes. And that's part of, as we get in better shape, as our physical demands are more and we meet them, our recovery heart rate, that's what that is called, becomes a lot quicker. And that's an indication of how fit you are. Okay, so if you use the mat, get rid of your mat and find a chair. We're going to end with just some sitting meditation instead of doing a standing meditation. I think this is invaluable, especially now that we're on. There's so much stress. We need something to go ahead and just allow us to slow down a little bit. Okay, so I know you know how to do this. I just want to go through the steps. Your feet are on the ground. You can have your hands on your knees. You can have your hands clasped. I don't want you to slouch over, but nor does your back need to be so straight. Okay, you can close your eyes, or you can keep them slightly open with the gaze kind of down to the floor. And all we're going to do is focus on the breath. The breath going in, feel what it's like going out. The focus on the breath in, focus on the breath out. You're going to lose your focus on the breath to thoughts, to sensations, to noises. Once you do, come back to the breath. Okay? And we're going to do this until it gets to 1900. Okay, so on your own, just close your eyes. Feel your breath. Feel your breath in. Feel your breath out. If you want to hold for a couple counts in before you exhale, do that. If you want to occasionally take a deeper breath, everything is okay. There's no wrong way to do it. This is as much of a challenge as some of the fitness or the yoga is. This also is somewhat hard. Another 30 seconds. Okay, slowly open your eyes if you had them closed. Take a couple deep breaths. Congratulate yourself for a great workout today. And we'll pick it up kind of the same place next time, in a couple of days. Okay, great job everybody. See ya.